Hi friends, this is Jarle for Cloud9 Crafts. Thanks for joining. In this video I'm showing you two fun techniques you can do with the MISTI, and these are the cards I made. I hope you'll enjoy. Now let's dive right into today's card making project. So let's start with the first technique. This one is called repeat stamping, and I'm using the Offset Sayings Everyday Stamp Set from Lawn Fawn. I already have a piece of Lawn Fawn white cardstock in my MISTI there, and it's got two A2 sides, so 5.5 by 4.25 inches. Now, since I will be stamping the same sentiment multiple times, I do want to make sure it's nice and straight. And instead of eyeballing it, I have this alignment panel from Tailored Expressions here, the same size as my pre-cut cardstock. So I'm lining up the sentiment on one of those lines on that alignment panel, and this makes sure my sentiment is straight onto my card. And here are the colors I will be using, and these are all rainbow colors from Lawn Fawn: Plastic Flamingo, Carrot, Sunflower, Freshly Cut Grass, Mermaid and Juice Box. Now, before I started my stamping, I did remove that alignment panel from Tailored Expressions out of my MISTI. Now I'm inking up my sentiment with the pink ink and making sure to cover the whole sentiment. Then I closed the door of my MISTI and pressing the sentiment onto that card panel. And you can see it's a nice pink color. Then I remove my magnet there, and then I move my cards panel a little bit upwards. So I move that panel 2 grids upwards. Do you see there at the bottom of the MISTI? The MISTI has that grid, and I'm using that grid to line up my card. So I will stamp the sentiment again, now in some orange ink, which is the carrots. So again, doing the same thing, just inking up my sentiment stamp, closing the door of my MISTI, and now it's in perfect placement, that second sentiment. So here I wanted to show you in real time one more time. So I move my cards panel 2 squares upwards, not touching the stamp. So the stamp stays on the door of my MISTI. Again, inking up my sentiment, closing that door of the MISTI and pressing the ink onto my panel. And I'm repeating this step multiple times until the whole card panel is covered. So this makes sure that there's an even spacing between every sentiment. And I don't have to fiddle with the stamp itself. I just move my panel. Super easy to do and super easy to line up. Also, I do want to mention that I really love that alignment panel that I used in the beginning of the video to place that sentiment. I use it to line up my sentiments on cards all the time, and I believe that there are 3 sizes of those alignment panels in one pack. And then here it's all finished, that whole card panel with those rainbow colored sentiments. I love it. For my next technique, I'm using the giant birthday messages from Lawn Fawn. This technique is called rainbow stamping, and it works particularly well with solid stamps or somewhat larger stamps. And here I'm using this larger sentiment stamp. So I'm inking up that top portion of the stamp with the pink color again, so that Plastic Flamingo. Then I'm taking a paper towel and dabbing off a little bit of that bottom edge, so the bottom of that happy. And this is kind of to soften up that inked edge. Then I close the door of my MISTI and pressing the ink onto my card panel. Then I'm just lining up my card panel again and taking my second color, which is the orange. So this one is called Carrot, I think. Inking up that middle portion of the stamp, and again I'm softening these edges with a paper towel. Now I'm using a paper towel here, but you can also do this with a blending tool or like a paper pouncer. And I even believe that this would work even better. Pressing down that ink again for that second color, and then I just have to do it for the final color, which is the yellow. And this way you can get a fun gradient across your whole stamp. Again, I think this would work even better with like solid stamps, because you can actually see even more of that rainbow stamping. But I think it worked out just fine with that giant sentiment here as well. I also wanted to show you the finished cards that I made. To finish everything, I used the Really Rainbow paper pad together with the Really High Five stamp sets. Now, for this first card, I trimmed my paper panel with those rainbow sentiments, so it's slightly smaller than A2 size. Then I put it on a yellow piece of that pattern paper that I showed you earlier. I put on a little bit of black splatters, and then I foam mounted a cute bear from that stamp set. For the second card, I used the coordinating die to cut that oval sentiment. I did put on a bit of ink on the edges of that oval. I foam mounted it onto another piece of patterned paper, and here I used that little fox of that same stamp set I showed you earlier. So these are my 2 cards for today. This was super fun and easy to do, and I really hope you give these techniques a try. Thank you so much for watching, and if you love this project, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to this YouTube channel for more card making tutorials. Until next time, happy crafting! Bye!